Have you ever stopped to think about your playlist, or the last movie you streamed, or even just what you had for dinner last night? Chances are it was a product of this massive, powerful global exchange. Today, we're going to dive into how our world got so interconnected, so incredibly fast, and what that all means for our culture.
Okay, get this. For the most recent Summer Olympics, an estimated 3 billion people tuned in. I mean, that's not just a big number. That is nearly half the entire planet sharing a single experience all at the same time. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
So that begs the question, right? How is that even possible? How did we actually build a world where a single event can pull in half of humanity? Well, the answer is in this incredible, sometimes messy story of cultural globalization.
To really get our heads around this, we have to look at how the 20th century just completely changed the game. I mean, sure, cultures interacted before 1900, but the pace was, slow. After 1900, everything got put on fast forward, thanks to new tech like commercial airplanes and, later on, of course, the internet.
It's a really simple way to put it, but it's totally true. Suddenly, people, ideas, and products could just zip across the globe faster and easier than ever before. And it's this constant, high-speed interaction that gave rise to what we now recognize as a truly global culture.
Now, a lot of people think that this new global culture just kind of steamrolls over local traditions. But honestly, the reality is so much more interesting and way more complex than that.
You could call it a global remix. Seriously, think of it like a DJ mixing different tracks. Global trends get blended with local flavors, and boom, you get entirely new forms of expression. I mean, look at reggae. It started as this unique sound in Jamaica, but artists like Bob Marley helped it find a global audience. And now you can hear its influence in music all over the planet. It's a remix.
And if you want a perfect modern example of this in action, look no further than K-pop. It started out as a regional style, right? But by mastering social media and viral videos, artists like BTS were able to connect directly with a global fan base. They totally sidestepped the old industry gatekeepers and just sparked this international phenomenon that felt like it came out of nowhere.
And of course, you can't talk about global culture without talking about movies. Entertainment is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful ways to spread ideas and values across borders. Just take a look at the box office. Of the top 10 highest-grossing films of all time, every single one of them is a Hollywood production. I mean, that is a staggering amount of influence. It's basically creating a shared cinematic language for billions of people. But when you have that level of dominance, it brings up a really critical concern. Something often called cultural imperialism. The basic idea is that when one culture's media is that widespread, it's not just exporting movies, it's exporting a whole worldview. And there's a very real fear that those values could overshadow or even wear away at unique local stories and traditions.
But it's really not a one-way street. Bollywood, India's film industry, is the perfect counterexample. It actually makes more films than Hollywood every year. And yeah, it has a massive audience at home, but it's also incredibly popular all across the Middle East and among the South Asian diaspora around the world. It just proves that these powerful cultural flows can and do move in all directions.
So the story of global culture is also really the story of media technology. From the very first radio broadcasts to our crazy, hyper-connected digital age, the way we share information has completely shaped our world. And just look at the sheer speed of it all. The BBC took decades to build its reputation as a global broadcaster. Then all of a sudden, in just a few short years, platforms like Facebook and Twitter show up, connect billions of people, and make instant global conversations possible on a scale nobody had ever even imagined. But this incredible power is absolutely a double-edged sword. On one hand, social media has been this vital tool for movements like the Arab Spring and Black Lives Matter, letting activists organize and get their message out past state-controlled media. But on the other hand, that same speed and reach can spread misinformation like wildfire and creates these incredibly tricky new challenges around privacy, safety, and free speech. And, this flow of ideas and info runs right alongside another massive global force, the flow of stuff. So let's talk about the global shopping cart. After World War II, a whole lifestyle built around mass-produced goods, which was really pioneered in the US, started to spread all over the world. And one of the most powerful symbols of this whole shift is a concept called McDonaldization. And no, it's not just about burgers. It's about a whole business model built on a few key ideas that have been exported to basically every corner of the globe. It's a model built on 4 pillars: efficiency, predictability, calculability, and control.
It's a formula that delivers a standardized, predictable experience. And this way of thinking has totally reshaped countless industries. It's become a huge cultural export in and of itself.
And that brings us to the brands themselves. You've got these American icons like McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and KFC that became symbols of globalization. But again, it's not just a Western story. Toyota from Japan became a global giant known for quality and innovation. And of course, online platforms like China's Alibaba and America's eBay have basically put the entire global marketplace right in our living rooms.
All right, so from K-pop to Coca-Cola, we've seen just how interconnected our world has become. So let's try and boil it all down to the key takeaways from all this.
Okay, first, new tech literally shrank the world, which led to that global remix we talked about, where cultures blend in these amazing, dynamic new ways. Second, entertainment is a huge force, with Hollywood's massive influence being balanced by powerful counterflows like Bollywood. And finally, this global consumer culture, for better or worse, has just become a central part of modern life for so many of us.
Which leaves us with the big, central question of our globalized age. In a world where we share so much music, so many movies, so many ideas, how do we find the right balance? How do we enjoy all the richness of a global culture while making sure our own unique local identities don't just survive, but actually keep thriving and evolving? That's really the challenge for all of us, isn't it?